Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, the master of musical mayhem, X7, the host of Zenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters. Today is Friday. It is Seven Song Friday. We've got some really great ones here today, I think. We're going to start out with a softer song. There's a couple of them in here. This song is from 1994. It's from their fourth album. It's from the Rainmakers, who we've talked about before, but Flirting with the Universe. I like this song. it's not I lost track of them once they kind of fell off the radar in the late 80s, early 90s, probably. Yeah, I'd say so. Probably late 80s, but this is You Remind Me of Someone. See, I told you it was a softer song. That was just the intro there. Let's hear just a little more of the whole thing. It's just kind of a man's journey into recognizing someone, possibly.
Remind me of someone I don't know who, an old familiar face, maybe a lover from my wilder youth, or my mother in her younger days. Maybe in a former life I was a serviceman and you were my wife. You remind me of someone I don't know who. Maybe it's better that way.
So he goes through the song singing that sort of, maybe it's better that way, and it ends up really, it's just a gentle little song. It's not bitter or, it can be a little spiteful at some things. There's even a song on this 11-song LP called Spite, Mystery Road. I really like Little Tiny World and Another Guitar. Those are probably my two favorite off here. We haven't heard them yet. But can't hear everything all at once, right? That would be boring. So here's a little more. Whoops.
Still flirting with the universe. Oh, you remind me of someone I don't know who. Somebody I could learn to love.
That's the denouement of the song, or the end of it, really. There's a little more, but it only runs about 3 minutes, which is a great length for a song. So here's a song I had a hard time finding anything out about. It's by a band called Code Blue, which had 6 members. No, 1, 2, 3 members. Drums, bass, guitar, lead vocals. Dean Chamberlain is the singer-song. It's called Code Blue. The band's Code Blue. The song is, what the heck is this song? Face to Face. So Code Blue released 2 albums, and they were originally from Los Angeles in 1977 by Dean Chamberlain, who apparently was in the Motels. I don't know exactly why. Is there any more in here about this? It says show more, show less. No. Code Blue Band. Let's see if that's, nope, not existent anymore. So really, I'm sorry, they had this one released in 1980, and the song is Face to Face, and then they did another one, True Story, which was an album, obviously, with 8 songs on it. I haven't heard anything else from this. I like the song, fair enough. I mean, it's not a bad one.
Doesn't know, and she can't face him and say I love you. She's acting so detached, such unexpected cool. Did I say too much? Did I speak too soon? All my education, still the rest don't come.
So it's a good chorus, I think. Kind of spoken-y song. Very new wave, I'd say, from 1980. This was off of New Wave Hits, Just Can't Get Enough. I want to say Volume 3, but that might just be the title I gave it when I imported songs I liked from the Rhinos, "Living in Oblivion" and all that stuff that was out then.
Am I getting old? Am I still too young? Wanna have it now? Wanna have it all? There will come a time we will meet again, face to face, skin to skin.
That sounds very hopeful for a lost romance, if you ask your humble agent here. But you never know. Stranger things have happened. I can attest to that. All right, so our next song is from Cliff, um, the heaviest sound around, the utter king of rock and roll, Cliff Richard. Whoops, that's not Cliff Richard.
Your love means more to me than all the apples hanging on a tree. And like those apples, our love will grow because I love you.
Bet you can't guess what this song's called. I Love You by Sir Cliff Richard and the Shadows. Um, the Shadows. Oh, they're so good. Hank Marvin on lead guitar with that smooth sound on his red Fender Strat, which, well, uh, it's just wonderful to listen. I mean, I love listening to the guitarist more than even the songs. But nobody ever talks of, well, those of us who know about Hank Marvin know about Hank Marvin. Yeah. Big old glasses, immortalized, and of course, with the rest of Cliff and the Shadows in Thunderbirds Are Go, which their greatest and kind of stalkery song, Shooting Star. But, yeah, it was of its time.
Your love means more to me than all the fishes swimming in the sea. And like those fishes, my heart begins to swim because I love you.
So the Shadows, of course, had their own career without Cliff, but they were very well known together. They were originally known as the Drifters, but I think the Shadows is, I mean, the Drifters is a cool name. Shadows is a cool name. Yeah, they're all still, I think Hank's still alive. They've had a lot of different members show up, but yeah, Hank still looks exactly the same. But this here is Cliff. Cliff, of course, is Rick of the Young Ones, spelled with a silent P, of course. I bet I haven't made that joke in the last 2 days. Thank you, Vivian. In their final episode, Cliff! And then they go over a Cliff. We're going to talk about the Young Ones at some point in time because I love them. The show is great.
I love you. I want you for my own. I need you near to me.
So you can hear Hank in the background there playing that guitar, that smooth, like he doesn't even have frets on his, yeah, he's great. Okay, so the next song here, our fourth song already, is from the Postmodern Jukebox. At least that's what I have in here. Let me make sure that's right. Close tab. There we go. Postmodern Jukebox, also known as Scott Bradley's Postmodern Jukebox, is a rotating musical collective founded by New York-based pianist Scott Bradley in 2011. Jazz, they discover new songs in an old way. And this song we've played before, but it was a request from Agent Frog, and I thought we'd play this version of it instead of the original one.
There's so much I wanna do, and tonight I'm gonna lay it at your feet, 'cause I was made for you, and you were made for me.
So it is I Was Made for Lovin' You, starring Effie Passero. That's her voice. This is done a la a spaghetti western. So if you can imagine Clint Eastwood, fighting Lee Marvin over a woman, that's probably what we'll be playing, and in the style of it. So I think the band's great. I discovered them when they covered a certain theme song featuring two laboratory mice bent on taking conquering the world, which we'll play probably in April. So that'll be 2 months. But there's the originals there, maxi single with Charisma from their Kiss's 1979 Dynasty album, or Dynasty as we say over here. Oops, they're wearing their. I mean, this picture is they're using their Destroyer outfits, so go figure. Um, Peter didn't even play on most of the Dynasty album.
I was made for loving you, baby. You were made for loving me. And I can't get enough of you, baby. Can you get enough of me?
So that's one of their newer songs. I think it's from last year. They release about a new video every month, a new song, and they tour everywhere. They cover Lady Gaga and the Strokes, some guy named Harry Styles maybe, done one of his songs, just tons of them. So I highly recommend checking out both their YouTube channel and if you have to, the Book of Faces. But it's something. They're really great to watch. They're super talented, and they have a lot of fun. And they dress in period clothes, as you saw. Although, it'd be fun if they all dressed up as well. Be that as it may. Our next song is, you might have noticed, from the 1983 live LP, "Under a Blood Red Sky," and this is. Let's play the beginning here. I have to be careful because. Well, that's Gloria there. And that is one that actually was recorded at the Red Rocks Amphitheater. Only two songs were this and Party Girl. Um, Gloria, of course, was from October, which I want to say was their 1981 second LP. But the rest of them were all from Sankt Gorshausen in Germany, and the Orpheum Theater in Boston. It's only two songs, even though they promote it as, Red Rocks there. But there, look, I'm right there. You can see me. And if you listen really close, you can hear me singing. Several of my friends were there. It was a wonderful concert. I have made use of it many times that I was there, and some of my friends who I made later on in life were very jealous, and they should be, because it was a great concert. You can buy the DVD still, probably. See, I'm cheering right there. All right, we're going to fade out instead of ending like they do, because this is one that I don't want to run afoul of, since I get to brag that I am actually in the concert. And so, yeah, I still think I wish that they'd used all the songs, just pulled the tracks right from Under a Blood Red Sky, but I do own the DVD, and I can watch it anytime I want. It was snowing and raining, and it was wonderful. And to Nancy and Jill and Charles and Wes. If I was a wet blanket, I'm sorry. Not that any of them will ever hear this, but that's on them. So our next song is Split Ends, and this is according to my notes, this is their introduction, their first song that we featured in over a year and a half since I've been doing this, which I'm just astounded by that I love split ends. I In the olden days when I was just doing Spotify and just doing audio, I know I even did a whole what do you call it, a whole episode about the band itself. But so I must have done one song, but I don't have it written down, and I couldn't tell you which one it was. But this is "Hard Act to Follow" from their I want to say 1981 album Wiata, from the Maori word for song. See, Maori music. It was released as Korobori in Australia. It was their seventh studio album. They've been around a minute. As you can see, they were a little artistic in those early days. I bet you Tom Tamakaze, the artist formerly known as Tamakaze, would probably like to see that. He likes people that perform with ladybugs. Never forget that, will we, Lilith? Anyway, 1981, and this song is "Hard Act to Follow." And following YouTube at Red Rocks, it certainly would be. So, yeah, sometimes someone you meet is a hard act to follow. There's no question about that. The song that was played here in the States off of this album was "One Step Ahead," which is excellent. Sounds far more. I mean, this was when they kind of veered into the new wave, the Australian slash New Zealand slash British invasion. But this was not one that, I mean, we never got this played on there. "One Step Ahead's a great song too, but I like them all. I mean, pretty much every song that's on that. I only have their greatest hits, which they had like three songs that were ever played in the States after Tim, and then when they did other songs, when he veered off into other bands. But I'd like some more of these. Here's a little more of "Hard Act to Follow" by Split Ends. All right, that was perfect timing. So our final song here is from let me close this tab up, from the Polecats. And the one song that was ever played over here by them was "Make a Circuit with Me." And I don't know which LP this came off of because they don't have them lit up. But it came from their Polecats' greatest and latest best of that I have. And it is called "Rockabilly God." Or no, it's not. It's called "Please Give Me Something." I do love rockabilly, I'll tell you what. I will something. I do remember you by. Well, baby, give me something. I do remember you by. It's just a little bit of something. So I do detect a bit of Cramps in there, or at least something the Cramps did, were kind of rockabilly themselves, and I'm sure they're playing Gretsch guitars just like Poison Ivy did, or Brian Seltzer. I believe it is Seltzer. No, and all my thoughts go out to Brian for a speedy recovery from for his hands, so he can get back to playing his guitar. But I do hear that. I mean, they kind of have a horror vibe around them. Not too many, but they do have some. I'll tell you what. This is probably from they were formed in 79 or 77. Yeah, 77. We've had them on there for "Make a Circuit 2000," MAC 2000. And it's been showing up, that song. They should use some more of them because I'm sure they could use, the Polecats could use the money, and it'd be nice to hear more. You can always hear more rockabilly, can't you? Let's hear a little more of this, and then we will. I see why love would die. When I'm done, I see my foot back. I see my
Well, I'm gonna see my baby tomorrow night.
A little, dangerous sounding there, doesn't it? But I don't think they were particularly dangerous. They were a rock band trying to make money playing music that they loved, and they did it for a while. They released their latest release was 2008, and but I don't know that they're probably just still touring locally. I'm sure they appreciated having the movie Wall-E use it and Glory Days and whatever else. So they're quite good. One would hope that they're still making some money and having a good time. All right, my fellow agents, so that is our 7-song Friday here. We're hoping that YouTube won't strike any of them, but you just never know. A lot of times Russia and Belarus do not get to listen to our episodes. And, the way things are, Russia doesn't need to. But until our next assignment tomorrow, Shaolin Saturday, and it's going to be a good one. Well, to some people. This is X7 signing off.